People's State Bank is a locally owned and managed bank with convenient locations in southwest Wisconsin and northeast Iowa. If you're looking for a place where you're more than just a number, but still have access to convenient technology and low fees, People's State Bank is it. As a community bank, they're proud to support many of the local charities, county fairs, community events, and more. When you become a part of People's State Bank, you can be confident that you're standing with a good cause. People's State Bank, member FDIC.
The Sweet 16 of Division 5 seek to become the Elite 8. Good evening, volleyball fans, and welcome to WIAA Playoff Volleyball on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL, AM 1590 WPVL.com, the AM 1590 WPVL mobile app, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, powered by H&N Plumbing, Heating, Electrical, and Laley Center Monroe. From Highland High School, this is the Division 5 Riverdale Sectional Semifinal. The number 4 seed, DeSoto Pirates, against the number 2 seed, Highland Cardinals, ranked 9th in Division 5. The winner faces Eau Claire Emmanuel Lutheran or Wausau Newman in the Riverdale Sectional Final Saturday night. And if Highland gets to Riverdale, we'll be there too. From the Ayers Furniture Best Seat in the House, I'm Steve Prestigard, and Highland and DeSoto get another playoff match here in Highland because of upsets last week. Highland didn't face 3rd seed and Ridge and Valley Conference champion Seneca on Saturday. The Cardinals faced and beat Wanawak Center after the 6th seed Wolves upset the Royals. DeSoto is here, meanwhile, because the Pirates knocked off number 1 seed Royal, the Scenic Bluffs Conference champion, in straight sets Saturday night, and now the DeSoto Pirates get to take on another conference champ in Highland, which went 12-0 in the Six Rivers West this season. The winner of this match, once again, will play the winner of the match in Wausau between Eau Claire Emmanuel Lutheran and Wausau Newman. Also, on the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest, we are very much all over the place today. We have, only if I can find it on my sheet here. There we are. We have Marshall at Mineral Point in Division 3 on X1071 in the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. We have Cashton at Fenimore on Super Hits 106 in the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And we have Southwestern at Pecatonica, also in Division 5, on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. When we return, the Raleigh Cheese pre-match show presented by Raleigh Cheese at the intersection of Highways 11 and 23 in the heart of Lafayette County. Don't forget the cheese. And we're back in 2 minutes on AM 1590 WPVL. Welcome to the Raleigh Cheese Pre-Match Show on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL. Sectional Semifinal Volleyball, DeSoto and Highland. We're joined by DeSoto coach Laura Lee Winter. thanks for joining us, and congratulations to getting here.
Thank you.
I hate to put a fine point on it, but a number 4 is generally not playing in the sectional semifinal. So how were you able to get to this point?
I think it's just based on my team. They have went out and proved themselves, and they're not afraid to get down and get right back up and swing and attack the ball. And I mean, a lot of time on the court that these girls have had.
Well, that obviously paid off with your match on Saturday. You go to a number 1 seed and a conference champion, and typically, number 4s don't come out. What worked so well for you Saturday?
They played really well on Thursday, and we kind of went in with one game at a time. That's been our motto the whole time, and just to let the girls have fun. I tell them before every game, let's just play fun, play out there, have fun, and whatever happens. Like, nothing bad can happen. We can just go out there and just play what we play and what we love to do, and we'll succeed.
When things are going well for you, what are you guys doing?
There's really no strategy that I have, really. It's more, we work hard on the court during practices. We do scout a little bit. The girls like to watch film to get, looking at their opponents, and they run the show. I'm just there to help them.
Okay. Now you're going from one conference champion to another. Of course, Highland's ranked in both of the top 10 in both of the polls and the rankings. What about the Cardinals? Looks like a challenge. What do you feel like you have to do today?
I think their middles definitely will be a challenge. But overall, they're first in their conference, and I think they're going to come out swinging, and they're going to play hard, and we just got to match their energy and play even harder.
All right. Thanks a lot. Good luck tonight.
Thank you so much.
Lurley Wetter, the Soto coach. More after this on AM 1590 WPBL. Might actually get some sleep, All right. Maria Wineski in 3, 2, 1. Raleigh Cheese pre-match show continues on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. The sectional semifinal, DeSoto and Highland. We're joined by Cardinals coach Maria Wineski. Thanks for joining us. Let's talk about the regional week first. In a sense, you kind of missed what would have been a closer game, maybe because, of course, Wanawac Center showed up instead of Seneca. But how do you feel like you guys played last week?
Oh, I felt like we played really tough. Wanawac was a really strong team, and they gave us a really good run. I felt like that kept us sharp, hopefully, for for tonight. And Wazeeka was a good warm-up match for the first game of regionals for us. And I don't know, I just thought we did a really good job on Saturday night going out there and finishing business.
In a general sense, when things are going well for you this season, what are you guys doing?
We're getting lots of touches at the net, and we're slowing down the other team's hitters. And so our best offense is also our defense, because we're able to then play our game and set the ball up and knock it down and use our strength. We're just really tall. So that's our biggest strength, being up front.
Okay. It's a bonus, obviously, that you're here instead of on the road, and you're not overlooking anybody, obviously. But as far as Soto goes, what do you see about them that's going to be a challenge tonight?
So they have a really good outside hitter, number 7, and then they have a strong middle, number 27. One unique aspect is they play 6 players. They don't sub. They don't use a libero. And so it's 6 girls on the court. So hopefully we can maybe get them rattled a little bit, or we can just find some holes and wear them down, especially since we're big. We need to be able to get in their big hitters' faces and get some good touches on their hits.
All right. Thanks a lot. Good luck today.
Thanks so much.
Maria Wineski, the Highland coach. And we'll be back with Soto and Highland after these messages on AM 1590 WPVL. Test, 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 test. Grand Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of WIAA Playoff Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Our Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel live and archive coverage is powered by H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical and Lely Center Monroe. We are broadcasting from the Ayers Furniture best seat in the house in the Ayers Furniture broadcast booth. Ayers Furniture in downtown Ridgeway for free delivery on heirloom quality furniture for every room in your home for what's sure to be the best seat in your house. Be sure to visit Ayers Furniture at ayersfurniture.com. And as it happens, we're pretty much in the best seat of the house because we are right behind and elevated from the scores table. So everything's basically right in front of us here, which is a great place to be. Among other things, you have the people who are sitting at the scores table blocking us in case there's a volleyball that comes our direction. That's an important thing for those of us who don't have anything to defend ourselves. Our injury report brought to you by Russell Law Offices. If you've been injured, contact Russell Law Offices. Their experienced team of personal injury lawyers will fight for your rights and help you get the compensation you deserve. Visit RussellLawWI.com. And everybody is apparently ready to go tonight, which is good because obviously once you get to the postseason, you lose and you're done, as you know. Colors of the game presented by Cuba City Family Dental, Kieler Family Dental, and Darlington Family Dental. 3 convenient locations to serve your dental needs. And Highland is in white jerseys with black numbers and red trim and black shorts. And DeSoto is in maroon sleeveless uniforms with black shorts and gold numbers and trim. So there's that. Our match is brought to you today by the Highland State Bank in Highland and at highlandstatebank.net. Turn the page. And our match is also brought to you by Southwest Health. They have over 24 specialty services and more than 50 specialists so you can have specialized care without traveling far from home. Learn more about their specialty services at southwesthealth.org. Highland Hardware in Highland, always backing the Cardinals. Trust Cindy, Pat, and the crew to do what is best for you at Highland Hardware in Highland. Mountain City Bank's total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop into Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountaincitybank.com. Laley Center Monroe. Call your local dairy automation specialist, Jordan Wilson, at Laley Center Monroe. Also, TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch, Cobb and Platteville. Beautify your home with decorative colored mulch. Give Jim Drury and the gang a call at TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch, Cobb and Platteville. And by Community First Bank, for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC. On the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. We have, I have to check. I just mentioned that a few minutes ago and now have managed to forget. It's been a busy week. Let's just leave it at that. And tell you that Marshall is at Mineral Point. That's on X1071. Cashton is at Fenimore. That is on Super Hits 106. And then Southwestern is at Pecatonica, and that is on 97.7 Country WGLR. Coming up tomorrow, of course, we have 5 football games for you. Level 2 football starting at 6:30. Platteville at Baldwin Woodville here on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL. Fenimore at Darlington on X1071. Potosi Cassville at Johnson Creek on Super Hits 106. Cashton at Blackhawk Warren on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And Seneca Wazika Steuben at Hilbert on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Again, the winner of this match tonight will take on Eau Claire Emmanuel Lutheran or Wausau Newman coming up on Saturday. That is supposed to be Saturday night. That was a match, kind of interestingly, that got moved from Royal to Riverdale and got moved from the afternoon to the evening. And those people who are making 4-hour drives tomorrow for football games are pretty happy about the move. To put it that way. And there was another change also, and that was in the in Division 4, which was supposed to be played at Riverdale Saturday. That got moved to Arcadia, and I really cannot tell you why that is. But in that sectional in Division 4, the winner of Cashton and Fenimore tonight will take on either number 2 seed Blair Taylor or number 1 seed Cochran Fountain City. Marshall Mineral Point on X1071. That winner will play Onalaska Luther or La Crosse Aquinas. And the winners of Southwestern Pecatonica and Madison St. Ambrose and Barneveld, they will face each other on Saturday in Barneveld, and again for a trip to state. Our match tonight brought to you by the Melby Funeral Home and Crematory in Platteville. They offer a history of caring, and they understand that each family is unique and will honor personal requests and tradition. Matt and Laura Melby at the Melby Funeral Home and Crematory in Platteville. West End Salvage in Lancaster. See Junkyard Joe Krantz of the West End Salvage team for recycling as well as construction and demolition waste to West End Salvage in Lancaster. Anderson Weber Toyota Dubuque powering our audio stream. Anderson Weber Toyota Dubuque when you are ready. And Grand Regional Health Center, their ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC. Provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Grand Regional Health Center, better health starts here. We'll be back with DeSoto and Highland after these messages on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. Great Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of WIAA Playoff Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. On ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, powered by H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical and Laley Center Monroe. I'm just announcing that the winner again plays at Riverdale 7 o'clock, which we do. And in a moment here, we will have the starting lineups presented by Fuller's Milker Center. See Fuller's complete hygiene line and options for your brand new dairy setup or existing parlor remodel. Fuller's in Lancaster and Richland Center and at fullersmilkercenter.com. DeSoto 19-13. They were 12-2, second place in the Ridge Valley Conference. Their only losses were to the conference champ Seneca, but DeSoto's here. Seneca is not. And Highland 22-4, and they went undefeated in the Six Rivers West Conference. And now, from Highland, our national anthem. The national anthem here at Highland High School.
Highland High School would like to extend a special
For the
welcome to the DeSoto coaches, players, and fans.
sectional semifinal. And our Fuller's Milker Center starting lineups for DeSoto. Interestingly, according to Maria Wineski, they only play 6 players. They rotate nobody in, and they do not have a libero. So here are the 6. McKenna Gilman, a junior outside hitter, 0.6 kills and 2.8 digs a game. Kylie Venner, a junior, also on the outside, 4.8 kills and 3 digs per game. Up front, Paisley Aggie, who is a sophomore. Actually, I don't believe that's correct. I think I'm sorry. It is, actually. Okay. 17, a junior, Josie Hansen, also up front. 1.3 kills, 2.2 digs per set. Ella Cook is the setter. She's 1.8 digs and 8 assists per set. And Sylvia Krieger is hitter up front. Junior, 3.3 kills, 0.7 aces per set. And for Highland, up front, Cora Healy-Doherty, 5'9", senior, 1.3 kills per set. In the middle, Sophie Terrell, 5'10", junior, 2.3 kills, 0.6 blocks per set. Faith Hoffman, also up front, 5'9", senior, 0.8 kills per set. Samarid Halverson is the setter, 5'2 senior, 1.9 digs, 4.9 assist percent. Adeline Esser is a 5'10 sophomore, 1.4 kills, 2 digs percent. Celia Olson is one of the hitters, also 3 kills, but also 3.5 assists percent. And the libero is Brindley Ballant, 5'3 senior, averaging 4.4 digs percent. Marie Wineski coaches Highland. Worley Wetter coaches DeSoto. Highland is 2 steps away from their 3rd state appearance. And everybody loves going to state, as you know. And our match action tonight is brought to you by Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington. And Hermson's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main and Platteville. See Hermson's for the perfect paint for your next project. Hermson's Ace Hardware, Bloomington and Platteville. And Claire Bank with their 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin. Proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender. Russell Law Offices, local legal representation. Call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, more. Russell Law Offices, Platteville, Dodgeville, Cuba City, and Darlington. Darlington will be, or Darlington, just said that, but this is not Darlington. Highland is to the right as you watch from the Ayers Furniture Best Seats in the House on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And DeSoto is in the left half of the court. Again, the winner heads to Saturday in Riverdale, or at Riverdale, more likely, or accurately. DeSoto serves first, and here is a bump over in the 3rd set. And now the set by Krieger, and that ends up going out, and it is 1-0 Highland. Cardinals bring out Addison Bedward to serve. She serves to the back middle. That was nearly an ace. Bump set, and then sent over on the 3rd. Now the set by Halverson, and that one goes too far, and we are tied at 1 in set number 1. And Highland immediately brings in Adeline Esser up front. Here's the serve for the Pirates. Now a left side hit by Healy Doherty. Here's a middle block attempt, and that ends up hitting the floor, and it's 2-1 DeSoto. And here's the line drive serve that ends up bumped, and that's an ace as it goes out of bounds, and it's 3-1 DeSoto. Now, the rule of underdogs, obviously, is, especially in volleyball, is you want to win the first set. Here's the bump in the back set. Right side spike. That got blocked. And we were told that, Venner and Krieger, I think that was Krieger getting the block kill. And it's 4-1 DeSoto in set number 1. Dug out in the back quarter. Set. Left side hit by Healy Doherty into the opposite quarter. Now the set. Left side spike. High bump. Another bump. Sent over on the 3rd bump into the back row. Now the set. And the spike hook. And it is 5-1 DeSoto. In set number 1, and Cook will again serve. Into the back middle. The set. Halverson, and that ends up going out. And another, DeSoto's on quite a run here. 6-1 DeSoto in set number 1. And Cook will serve once again. That's dug out. Set by Halverson, quick set, reached over. Highland handles that, however. They have to bump it over. That was DeSoto. Now here's the set. Left side spike, and down it goes. Finally, it's Celia Olson getting the kill. And that stops the run. It's 6-2. And here is Bridley Boland, actually, for Highland with very bright shoes. Bump, set, center spike, and that finds, there's Cook, or actually Hansen getting the kill, and it's 7-2. There is the serve into the back, and not well handled at all by Highland, and now it's 8-2 in set number 1. And the serve by Gilman again. Bump set and sent over by the Cardinals. Terrell, now a spike for the left side. That gets dug out. Quick set, and then has to be bumped over. The hitters weren't ready for Highland in that instance. Now here's a right side spike. That's dug out. And then Halverson bumps it over, and that's going to go. Oh, it went out. Or they call, what do they call? It was an illegal hit. So it's 9-2, and Highland will call time. They're first. 9-2 to Soto in set number 1. Back after this on AM 1590 WPVL. It ends up, how about I turn the mic up to a proper volume? There we go. Sorry about the tech issues here. It is now 10-5. That is the score, 10-5 in favor of DeSoto in set number 1 after a timeout. The ball hangs up in the rafters and then comes down, and, well, you got to be lucky, obviously. It's 10-6. I guess you get advantage of that when you're in your own gym. There's a diving bump, and then a backward set, and then a set, and it hit the ceiling. It hit the divider between the two and came back, and it's 10-7. And now a timeout for DeSoto. They're first. I'm going to try one thing here. And let's see if this works. And I believe it is. So, okay. I think we're all good now. 10-7. DeSoto has just called a timeout, their first, after Highland called their first timeout after it was 9-2. And now I guess you could say that order has been restored a little bit, I guess. Here's Sophie Terrell to serve again. Tipped at the net. Bump. Set. Left side tip over, and down that goes. And that was Kylie Venner getting the tip kill to make it 11-7. And our match action brought to you by Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialists. The pros of Brian's get the job done right. For unexpected dings or major repair projects, head to Brian's Auto Body and Paint in Lancaster. Right side spike out. And it's 11-7, or 12-7, DeSoto. And back to serve once again, Josie Hansen. Running jump serve into the back, a bad hit, and then a bad bump. They have to play it off the net, and it cannot, and it's 13-7 DeSoto in set number 1. McNett Electric and Belmont, they can assist you with all of your electrical needs. Chip and his crew at McNett Electric are on call ready to help you with your agricultural, business, and commercial needs. McNett Electric and Belmont. Hansen serves again. The set by Halverson, spike from the right side. That's dug out into the back, and then has to be bumped over by the Pirates into the back row. Set by Halverson, spike by Terrell. That's saved. And on the left side, a spike. That is tipped. Now a left side hit. And Olsen, it ends up going out. And it's 14-7 DeSoto in set number 1. They're playing basically exactly the way you want to if you're the road underdog, which as a number 4 seed you would be to a number 2. There's an ace into the corner. And it's 15-7. DeSoto in front in set number 1. Breckler Insurance Group, for all your insurance needs, see Steve Lundesky at Breckler Insurance and Fenimore. Breckler Insurance serving Southwest Wisconsin for over 95 years. The set and the reach over for Highland. There's a set spike from the middle, and it got blocked. And a point for the Cardinals to make it 15-8. In set number 1. And Terrell serves. There's the back set, and then a reach over, and down that goes for Venner. Right over the net, 16-8. And Venner now will serve. The running jump serve into the back middle. Set by Halverson. Spike blocked at the net. They'll try again, and then Highland will bump it over. Now the set to the left side. Venner with a spike. That's dug out. Bump goes into the back row, and they're going to have to, well, Healy Doder was able to spike it, and it's off the back row and down, and a point that actually out of bounds, and a point for Highland to make it 16-9. Pretty good when you can hit a bump set for a kill. Line drive serve into the back, up into the ceiling again. Bump set, and then a spike by Venner. Diving bump, goes back to DeSoto, then reached over. And a point for Highland. Faith Hoffman just kind of reached over the net and flicked it down, and it is 16-10. WCC Brands Custom Apparel and Kieler and WCC-brands.com. That's dug out, in almost into the seats. And, in fact, they're not able to return it, 16-11. We're also brought to you by Cole Acres Golf and Grill in Cuba City and Cole Acres golfandgrill.com. That's dug out, almost ends up in the seats again. And again, they're not able to return on the third hit, 16-12. They were brought to you by Applied Micro, your computer and networking specialist, Platteville, Dodgeville, and AppliedMicro.biz. There's the set. Spike from the left side, and that ends up finding the floor. I believe that was Venner getting the kill there. 17-12. And DeSoto's Paisley Eggy will serve. There's the back set. Spike tipped at the net. They handle it. DeSoto does. Big hit, and down that goes. And the kill that time into the back row was Sylvia Krieger, 18-12. And another serve coming up. Line drive, and that's an ace off one of the back row players. 19-12. And Highland is going to call another timeout. Their second, 19-12 DeSoto in set number one. Back after this on AM 1590 WPVL. Our match action also brought to you by the Highland State Bank in Highland and HighlandStateBank.com. They must have the fans running hot here as there's a serve that goes out of bounds out of the timeout because my notes are moving all over the place. 19-13. And Addison Bedward will serve. Here's Bedward's serve right into the net. 20-13. And Adeline Esser comes back in. And here's the serve for Ella Cook. That's dug out. The set spike and off the back row and a whistle and a point. I think somebody was out of position, so it's a legal position, so it's a point for Highland to make it 20-14. And Brindley Bolent will serve after dribbling a few times. He wears like pinkish orange shoes. Even if the libero, maybe if she wasn't wearing the libero uniform, you could tell where she is. Here's a bump set and then sent over at a bump. Bolent, the set by Halverson, spike, and down that goes. I think that was Olsen getting the kill. 20-15. And Bolent will serve again. Dug out and ends up right back on the Highland side. Now a 50-50 tip and a point. Net contact, I think, was made. And so it's 21-15. And the DeSoto student section acting like referees. There's a set by Halverson. Spike for the right side, right at the net. That's dug out. Left side spike by Venner. Blocked at the net. And it ends up, two players collide. And the ball goes down, and it's 21-16. Celia Olsen now serving for Highland. She averages 0.6 of an ace per set. Bumped back over. So here's the spike, and down that goes for Sophie Terrell. And it's 21-17. Highland trying to come back in this first set without a whole lot of room for error when DeSoto's at 21. Line drive serve. Problem with a bump. And then blocked at the net, and down it goes again. Terrell gets a block kill. 21-18. Another serve. Into the back. Almost got to the high. And that's another bad hit that goes out of bounds. And it's 21-19. And now timeout DeSoto. They have called their second. And Highland has called both of their timeouts in this first set. Carver's Hardwood Flooring. For hardwood flooring, stair installation, or refinishing needs, call Ryan Carver, the only National Wood Flooring Association certified installer, sander, and finisher in the tri-state area. Carver's Hardwood Flooring in Benton. Krantz Auto Parts and Krantz Hardware do it best. See Rob Krantz and the crew for full service repair on cars and light trucks too. Krantz Auto Parts and Krantz Hardware do it best in Fenimore. Sloan Implement, your official John Deere dealer, Bloomington, Cuba City, Montfort, and at sloans.com. Lanark, Illinois also. Bouse Electric, call Brad Adrian and Josh Pusher at Bouse Electric, Lancaster, and Fenimore. Speaking of which, Galena is playing tonight in the, as there's another bad bump that goes out of bounds. It is 21-20. And DeSoto's big early lead is 1 point away from going away. Here's a line drive. High bump, set, left side spike, and that ends up being a kill. I believe that was Venner getting the kill there, 22-20. Anyway, Galena is playing in the West Carroll Regional Final tonight against Eastland. Also, Stockton is playing Fulton in the Durand Regional Final. Those two teams could face off in the sectional final. There's a big hit. And sent over by the Pirates. Now the set by Olson. Spiked by Terrell. That's dug out. Set by Cook. Left side spike by Venner. Blocked. Still in play. Left side spike by Venner. And out. And it's 22-21 to Soto. Healy Doherty to serve. Running jump serve into the back. And it ended up going on the Highland side and gets spiked down, and we are tied at 22. And a good-sized crowd here. Near most of the seats are full. Healy Doherty again. Dug out, right at the net. Bump set backwards, and then a bump set. Now here's the set by Olson. Spike. That is dug out. Bump set right at the net. Tip over, and two bad hits. And DeSoto takes the lead, 23-22. And now Hansen will serve. Here's the running jump serve into the back middle. Set by Olson, reached over by Highland. Now the back set, and there are actually two bumps over. Back set, spiked by Terrell, and it's out. And it is set point, 24-22. And Hansen again to serve to try to give DeSoto the first set win. Walks up, running jump serve into the back. The set to the right side, spike, and it makes it over the net. Kill for Esser, and it's 24-23. Still set point. Terrell's serve into the back. Bad hit! Out of bounds, and we're tied at 24. And we go to extra points. What a back and forth first set this has been. Terrell serve into the back. Another not great bump. They're able to get it over on the third. And now the set. And a reach over. That's dug out. The set. Left side spike blocked at the net. And right at the net. And one-handed bump. Bump set. And a reach over by Esser. That's a bump set before it goes out of bounds, and then sent over into the opposite corner, dug out. The set, and the spike into the back by Esser. Dug out, left side spike, blocked at the net. They'll set it up again, left side send over. Highland handles that. There's a back set, and then sent over on the bump by Hying. Now right at the net, up at the net, and they thought... DeSoto thought that was a double hit, and then a spike. Well, that was an incredible finish. DeSoto thought Actually, we're not done. 25-24 to Soto. They thought Highland had hit it twice, and then a bump hit the ceiling and bounced around and went down. It's 25-24. And here is Venner to serve. Another set point. Bump set in the back row, and then bumped over by the Cardinals. Now a left side spike blocked at the net and sent over by the Pirates. There's the set by Olsen, and a reach over for Esser. That's dug out. Bump set, spike from the left side. Diving bump. The set, left side spike by Esser. That's dug out. Right into the corner. It's saved from going on the floor, and then Esser bumps it over. Spike for the left side, and down it goes. Venner gets the last point, and DeSoto wins set one, 26-24. And we'll be back after this on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of WIAA Playoff Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors, and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel presented by powered by H&N Plumbing, Heating and Electrical, and Laley Center Monroe. DeSoto wins set number one, 26-24. Set number two after this on AM 1590 WPVL. Carey Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of WIAA Playoff Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors. And on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel powered by H&N Plumbing, Heating, Electrical, and Laley Center Monroe. DeSoto won set number one, 26-24. We're now started in set number two. And the two teams have switched side. Highland's on the left. That's dug out. Bump set by Bullant. And then set over. Now DeSoto with it, and they get a point. And it is 1-0 DeSoto here in set number two. So DeSoto, as you watch on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, the Pirates are on the right. There's the spike, and we're tied at one. And the Cardinals are on the left. And that was Faith Hoffman getting the kill. And Highland now to serve. And serving is Bedward. Now spike on the left side. That got blocked. DeSoto sets it up again, and a spike goes into the back row. Line drive bump. And then they have to send it over on a third hit. Now left side spike tipped at the net, and down it goes. And getting the kill is McKenna Gilman. And it's 2-1 Highland. There's the serve, and a bad bump into the back. Two players collide, and nobody's down there to get the third hit, and it's 3-1 DeSoto. And at least initially, this is how the first set went poorly, at least at the start, for Highland. Line drive serve, set by Halverson. Spike, blocked at the net. And that's a point. That is a block kill for Hansen, and it's 4-1. The Soto serve, that's dug out. Bump set, not a good hit. Highland gets it over. And now the set, here comes Venner with a spike. That's dug out. And then tip to the net, swings it at again. That got blocked. Now on the Highland side, Bullant with a set, spike. That's dug out. And into the back row it goes. Now the set, spike by Venner. That gets dug out. And a reach over on the left side by Olson. Now sent into the opposite quarter by DeSoto. Halverson the set. Spike by Olson into the back row. The set. Spike by Venner. Blocked but out of bounds. And it is 5-1 DeSoto in set number 2. With the Pirates already leading 1-0. People's State Bank for personal, business, and ag loans. Visit one of their convenient area locations or peoplesfinancial.com. Member FDIC. Serve goes long, and it's 5-2. And the pretty vocal DeSoto fans don't care for that call. And in fact, it took a while to get the ball back over there. Here's Bullant to serve. We're brought to you by Gary's Pest Control in Dickeyville. Gary's Pest Control salutes our local athletes. Gary's Pest Control, over 40 years of professional, friendly service. There's the set by Halverson. And the reach over went too far over, and Venner just flicked it down, and it's 6-2. DeSoto in the regular season, basically they were 12-2, obviously, in the Ridge and Valley for second place. Their problem was in invitationals where they didn't fare so well. Still ended up with 19 wins coming into tonight, of course. Spiked by Venner, blocked, and that's going to be a block kill for the Pirates, or for the Cardinals, to make it 6-3. And Celia Olson serves, standing right in the middle of the basketball lane. There's the set by Cook. Spike, one-hand bump, another bump, and then bumped over by the Cardinals. There's the set, and then sent over, blocked at the net, and then they sent it to the opposite quarter. Now the set, and then set over. DeSoto, left side spike by Venner, and down that goes. 7-3. We are brought to you by Mountain City Bank. Their total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop in at Mountain City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. There's a tip over at the net. And now DeSoto sets it up. Venner into the middle. Now the set. Spiked by Healy Doherty. That's dug out. And then sent over by Cook. And Cook will get the kill. Just reached over and put it down, and it's 8-3. Cook doesn't have a significant number of kills, but they can be effective, obviously. There's a serve that goes out of bounds. 8-4, DeSoto in front, with, again, the Pirates leading 1-0. Healy Doherty serves right at the net and then flicked over again by Cook, but that time Highland was ready. Now the spike, that's dug out. And then a bump set backwards and has to be sent over from the back row, and that's a point for Highland. Double hit. 8-5. We are also brought to you by Southwest Health. They have over 24 specialty services and more than 50 specialists, so you could have specialized care without traveling far from home. Learn more about their specialty services at southwesthealth.org. Spike into the back and blocked, but out. On the bump, it's 8-6. DeSoto in front, and Healy Doherty again to serve. Line drive into the opposite corner. The set flicked over and then flicked right back down. And I think that was Esser who gets the tip kill, and it's 8-7. And Healy Doherty again. Second set certainly going better for Highland than the first set did. Here's a right side spike. Dug out, line drive near the net, but they're able to bump it over, and then the bump ends up in the DeSoto bench, and we're tied at 8 in set number 2. And we're brought to you by Community First Bank. If you're in the communities where you live, work, and play, experience yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC. Tip of the serve. Now a right side spike blocked at the net. And we'll try this again. Left side spike by Venner, and down that goes in the back row. 9-8 to Soto, and Venner with a kill. And here comes the running jump serve. Dug out into the back. Back set, and then flicked over by Healy Doherty. That's dug out. Tip at the net. Down it goes on the DeSoto side. And it'll be Sophie Terrell getting the tip kill, and we're tied at 9. And she ends up serving. Goes into the opposite corner, the set, and then has to be sent over. Now the quick set. Spike. Dug out with a high bump. Bump set, and a spike from the back row. That's dug out. In the back row, a bump set, and nobody moved for it. And it's 10-9 to Soto. Paisley Eggy will serve for the Pirates. Line drive serve, big bump. Set, left side spike, but into the net. And it's 11-9 to Soto. We're also brought to you by Highland Hardware in Highland. Always backing the Cardinals. Trust Cindy, Pat, and the crew to do what's best for you at Highland Hardware in Highland. Line drive serve, tip to the net, and goes down on the Highland side, and it's 12-9 to Soto in set number 2. Laley Center Monroe. Call your local dairy automation specialist, Jordan Wilson, at Laley Center Monroe. Line drive serve into the back, the set, and then flicked over by the Cardinals. They're not hitting the ball really very aggressively here. Quick set, tipped over, and that, however, finds the far side of the floor, and it's 12-10. And Samarin Halverson in to serve. High bump. Bump set, and then spiked over. That's dug out. Set by Halverson. Left side spike blocked at the net. They'll try it again. Bump set, and then sent over by Hoffman. That's dug out. Spike from the middle, dug out and back. The set, spike here, tip over on the right side, and that's a kill. And it is Celia Olson getting the tip kill, and it's 12-11. DeSoto in front. They won set 1, 26-24, after having a big early lead. Spiked over by the Pirates. Now the set by Halverson, reached over. That's dug out. Bump set backwards, and they spike it over. That's dug out. Set, tip over. Diving bump, down it goes. They were tied at 12 in set number 2. And now a timeout called by DeSoto, their first. We're tied at 12, set number 2, with Highland, DeSoto leading 1-0 back after this on AM 1590 WPVL. Well, we have a couple of scores on the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Here, we're tied at 12, set number 2. And a timeout just called by DeSoto. Here's a left side send over. That's dug out. Set by Bullant. Spike blocked at the net. And down it goes, and it's the block kill for Krieger. And it's 13-12. DeSoto in front in set number 2. Line drive serve into the back. The set. Left side spike blocked at the net. They're pretty good blocking. And then that's tipped over. And then into the back row. And then set over. Now a bump set from the back row by Bullant. Spike by Olsen. That's dug out. The set. Left side spike into the back row. High bump. Set by Halverson. Spike. That's dug out and back with a high bump. And then sent over. Bullant. The set. Line drive spike by Olsen. And it goes out of bounds. And it is 14-12 DeSoto. Anyway, Galena has won the regional championship. At West Carroll, they beat Eastland 25-13, 25-17. So Galena moves on to Tuesday in Illinois, the sectional semifinal. Here's a spike, and that ends up going out, and it's 15-12 DeSoto. Meanwhile, Mineral Point, Marshall won set number 1, 25-20. Mineral Point's leading Marshall 16-14, set number 2. There's a left side spike coming up, dug out and back by Bullant, set by Halverson. Spike by Olsen, and down it goes. 15-13. Bullant now will serve. Actually, Bullant will not serve. It will be Addison Bedward serving. She sets up on the far side of the free throw lane. And then a spike. That's dug out with a diving bump. Bump set from the back. And then set over. And then a bad bump in the middle that didn't get more than 3 feet off the ground. And it's 15-14. Also, well, let's see here. Fenimore won set number 1, 25-20. Leads in set 2, 16-12. And here's a send over, blocked at the net, and down it goes. And the block kill, I believe that was Keely Doherty. And we're tied at 15 in set number 2. Bedward serves. And a bump, spike, and a bump unreturnable. The kill goes to Krieger, and it is 16-15 DeSoto. Highland has yet to lead other than 1-0 in a set through 2 sets. Serve goes into the net, and we're tied at 16. And now Bullant will serve. So anyway, Fenimore up 1-0 in 16-12. And that's what we have at this point. Diving bump, bumped over, hit the ceiling. And it's 17-16, hit the ceiling and came back. That's not what's supposed to happen when you are in your home gym. 17-16, running jump serve by Krieger. That's dug out. The set by Halverson, right side, send over, and DeSoto wasn't ready for that. And Healy Doherty gets the tip kill, and we're tied at 17. Now Celia Olsen to serve. Serves into the near back quarter, and then spiked over by Venner. That's dug out. Back set by Olsen. Spike got blocked, and then it gets out of bounds, almost hit the scores table in front of us. And it's 18-17 DeSoto. And Josie Hansen will serve. And her running jump serve a little short. And over at the right side, tipped over by Olsen. And then a bad bump before going out of bounds, blocked at the net, and then sent over. Now the Quick set, spike, and down that goes. And it's Terrell getting the kill. And we're tied at 18 in set number 2. And Healy Doherty to serve. Into the back middle. And then sent over on the second hit. Now the set by Olsen. Reach over by Terrell. Bump into the back. Bump set. And then spiked over by Venner. That's dug out. Quick set. Spike. And down it goes. And Highland finally has a lead. 19-18. Obviously, set 2 is far from over. Healy Doherty again the serve, and it's an ace! Hit the back line. 2018. TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch, Cobb and Platteville. Beautify your home with decorative colored mulch. Give Jim Drury in the game a call at TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch, Cobb and Platteville. Spike for the right side, into the back row. That's dug out. And then a problem on the bump and a double hit. And it's 2019. And Venner now will serve. Line drive serve, tick the net. Bump set and back. And then sent over by Healy Doherty on a bump. Now the set. Spike from the right side, but down it. Did it hit somebody? It did not. And so it's 21-19 Highland. Although the officials are maybe trying to decide that. And Sophie Terrell now to serve. Into the back middle. The set. Spike from the middle. Too far. 22-19. Timeout. DeSoto, their second timeout. 22-19, DeSoto leading. Or no, Highland leading. DeSoto's leading in sets 1-0, but Highland is leading 22-19 on the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox and Black Earth, largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Marshall just won set 2, 25-20, and now has a 2-0 lead over Mineral Point. That's on X1071. Fenimore won set number 2, 25-16. Golden Eagles with a 2-0 lead. And that is on Super Hits 106. And as mentioned before, Galena won the regional, the West Carroll regional over Eastland 25-13, 25-17. We don't have a score yet for Southwestern Pecatonica, which is on 97.7 Country WGLR. Second timeout called, 22-19, and a bad bump, and it goes out of bounds. It nearly hit the coach, Laura Lee Wetter, and then bounced into the commons, and it's 23-19. And Highland, who had trailed most of this set, and all of the first set, there's a hit that goes out of bounds. That's another ace. 24-19, and it's set point. They've scored 4 points in a row, Highland has. And here is Terrell's serve. That's dug out. Set, left side spike, diving bump, hits the ceiling, and it has to be played off the net, and it goes down, and it's 24-20. Still set point. Gilman will serve for the Pirates. Into the net. And set 2 goes to Highland, 25-20, and we are tied at a set each. Back after this on AM 1590 WPVL. Grand Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of WIAA Playoff Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on ESPN Radio, AM 1590 WPVL, and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, powered by H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, and Laley Center Monroe. Time for the McNett Electric Halftime Report, which is brought to you by McNett Electric in Belmont. For all your electrical needs, call McNett Electric in Belmont. Set number one went to DeSoto 26-24 after DeSoto got a relatively large early lead. And those tied a couple of times. Highland never had a lead in that set. Second set, DeSoto got off to an early lead, but Highland came back, finally took the lead at 19-18, and then ends up winning 25-20, and so we are tied at one set each. Again, the winner will head to Riverdale Saturday night, and they will take on Eau Claire, Emmanuel Lutheran, or Wausau Newman. Newman is ranked third according to the Max Preps rankings. Of course, Highland is ranked fourth in Division 5. They have switched sides back, so Highland will be on the right and DeSoto on the left for set number 3. Kind of interesting given the number of conferences that have just decided not to do that anymore and not to switch sides anymore, and particularly the swap. And immediately a serve goes into the net, and Highland has a 1-0 lead. And Addison Bedward to serve. Into the back middle. The set spike into the net. And it's 2-0 Highland. A couple of things right there. We're not seeing a whole lot immediately in the first two sets. Highland getting off to a good start, which they have not done in the first two sets. Bedward serves into the back middle. High bump. Bump set. Left side spike, that's dug out. The set by Halverson, spike down the middle, and down it goes. And it's Faith Hoffman, and it's 3-0. And a shoebox scoreboard update presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, the largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. And there's two bad bumps, and it's 4-0 Highlands. Pecatonica, we just mentioned we didn't have a score. Well, now we do. And it's Pecatonica leading Southwestern 2-0. And that's on 97.7 Country WGLR. Tipped over on the right side. Now the set, spike, and that is bumped but out of bounds. Olsen gets the kill. It's 5-0. And Highland rolling like they have not done at all in this match to this point. Dug out, another bad hit. And it's 6-0 Highlands. All of this with Bedward, their first server. Into the back middle. Set, and now this is interesting, and there's a diving bump and a set, and a spike by Olsen into the back, high bump. Set, and then reached over. That's dug out. The set by Bullant. Spike by Olsen. Dug out. Set. Left side spike, but out. And it's a point for, it was tipped, so it's a point for DeSoto, and it's 6-1. And here's what's interesting. For the first time tonight, DeSoto is using a libero. She's got the gold jersey on. And I believe that is Bryn Venner, a sophomore. Serve goes into the net. 7-1. That's interesting because the first two sets they didn't use a libero, and now they are. And she hits it. Venner does. Spike from the middle. That's dug out. That's the first player that they have not the first substitute player they've used. There's a spike, and it reaches over on the net. Now left side spike that goes out, and it's 8-1. Well, now they changed their mind, and they say that apparently it was tipped. And so it's 7-2. And Gilman will serve for DeSoto. Into the net, 8-2. This is not the DeSoto team that sure doesn't look like the DeSoto team that played in the first set. That got off to the 7-1, I believe it was, early lead. Here's Olsen's serve. The set, left side spike blocked at the net, but out. At a point for DeSoto. And it's 8-3. And it will be Josie Hansen to serve. And timeout is called before she serves. That's kind of interesting timing. And that is DeSoto's first timeout. Well, on the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox in Black Earth, largest independent shoe store in the Midwest, we have an upset possibly occurring at Mineral Point. Marshall leads Mineral Point 8-2, and they already lead 2-0. And that's on X1071. Here, we're tied at a set each. And Highland leads in set number 3, 8-3. Now they had to really scratch to get the win in the second set and made the late comeback, but lost in the first set. Served by Krieger, dug out, right side send over, and down it goes! And nobody for Highland went after it. And it's 9-3. Running jump serve by Healy Doherty. Two bad bumps, and it goes out of bounds, and it's 10-3 Highland in set number 3. Healy Doherty now. So Division 5, of course, has had some odd upsets, and there's an ace off the back row. Back line, and it's 11-3, and another timeout called by DeSoto. And we'll be back. 11-3, Highland in set number 3. Tied at a set each. Back after this on AM 1590 WPVL. Well, Highland just got a point off the timeout to make it 12-3 on a hit that went out of bounds. Now another serve, right side send over, that is dug out. And a bump set, Healy Doherty in the back row, that got blocked. Now Bolins with a bump set and then sent over by Terrell. Now at the left side of Spike, that got blocked. They'll try it again. Spike from the right side, that got dug out. That gets handled. Also, Terrell into the back row. Right side send over, blocked to the net, but goes down. And the kill there goes to Hansen. And it is 12-4. And Hansen now will serve. Line drive serve into the back. The set by Olsen. Spike. Terrell gets the kill. 13-4. And I guess Highland needed a set to get going here, but they appear to be going now with tied at a set each, and the Cardinals now rolling here 13-4 in set number 3. Terrell the serve. And bad bump. They're able to handle it, though. And then over at the net, bumped into the back row, and then sent over by the Pirates, but out. And it's 14-4. Terrell again will serve. I guess I forgot to tell the coaches that I've done, 4 5-set matches this year, I believe. Here's a spike from the right side by Venner, and that goes down. 14-5. And Venner now will serve. She sets up right on the far side line of the free throw lane. Dog bump, and Highland wasn't paying attention there. They got a bump, and nobody went after to get it. And it's 14-6. Venner again will serve. Running jump serve. Diving bump. Set. Spike, and down that goes. Kill for Esser. And it's 15-6 in set number 3. Russell offices, local legal representation, call for a consultation to discuss personal injury, estate planning, family law, criminal defense, probate administration, and more. Russell offices, Platteville, Dodgeville, Cuba City, and Darlington. DeSoto gets a point to make it 15-7. And then, serve that got over. Hit the net, but came over. And it's 15-8 after the ace. Brian's Auto Body and Paint Specialist. The pros at Brian's get the job done right. For unexpected things or major repair projects, head to Brian's Auto Body and Paint in Lancaster. Hit goes out of bounds, 16-8. In favor of Highland in set number 3. McNett Electric in Belmont can assist you with all your electrical needs. Shipping is crew McNett Electric around Colorado to help you with your agriculture, business, and commercial needs. McNett Electric in Belmont. Left side spike, and that ends up going out. Hit too far, 17-8 Highland. And here comes Bedward in to serve. And there's the set into the back row and a spike that's dug out. Boland has to race over to get it, but they are able to send it over on the third bump. Now a spike and too far by Krieger, and it's 18-8. There's a bump set in the side and then hit and too far. And it's 19-8. Highland rolling here in set number 3. We're brought to you by WCC Brands Custom Apparel and Kieler, WCC-brands.com. The set, spike from the middle, and down that goes. I believe that was Venner getting the kill there. And so it's 19-9. Cook now will serve. Into the back. The set. Spike by Healy Doherty, and down that goes. And it's 20-9. Healy Doherty gets the kill. Cole Akers Golf and Grill, Cuba City, and at ColeAkersGolfandGrill.com, and Applied Micro, your computer and networking specialist in Platteville, Dodgeville, and AppliedMicro.biz. Into the back, bad bump, and then sent over on a bump. Now, here is a bump set at the right side, sent over into the corner. That's dug out. Set by Cook. Venner with a spike, but too far. 21-9, Highland. We're also brought to you by Breckler Insurance Group for all your insurance needs. See Steve Landusky at Breckler Insurance Group. Breckler Insurance serving Southwest Wisconsin for over 95 years. There's a set, left side spike, tipped at the net. Highland handles that. The set by Halverson, set over by Olson. And into the back and almost hit the ceiling. Came back out. Now a quick set by Halverson. Olsen tried to, or actually Terrell tried to spike it, but went into the net instead. So it's 21-10. And DeSoto serves. That's dug out. Bad bump, but Boland handles it. And then sent over. Now the quick set and then a reach over, but they handle that right at the net and then sent over, but too far. As 21-11. We're brought to you by the Highland State Bank and Highland and HighlandStateBank.net. There's a bump and then a kind of an errant bump there, and then it gets sent over. And then a hit that goes out of bounds, and it's 22-11. We're brought to you by Melby Funeral Home and Crematory in Platteville. They offer a history of caring and understand that each family is unique and will honor personal requests and tradition. Matt and Laura Melby at Melby Funeral Home and Crematory in Platteville. Tip of the net, tip right back, and into the back row. And then bumped over. Now Highland with it. The set by Olsen. Spike. And that goes down. Terrell gets the kill. 23-11. And now Esser will serve. Left side spike, blocked at the net. They handle that. The set by Olsen. Healy Doherty spikes it down. 24-11 and set point. Cardinals trying to take a 2-1 lead. And there's the serve into the back and an ace, and that's it for set number 3. And Highland just blew through DeSoto in that set. And so the Cardinals up 2-1, 25-11 in set number 3. More after this on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. Gray Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of WIAA Playoff Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental. And Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Powered by H&N Plumbing, Heating, Electrical, and Laley Center Monroe. Well, we have gone back and forth in this sectional semifinal match. DeSoto won set number 1, 26-24. Highland won set 2, 25-20. Now they won set 3, 25-11. So the Cardinals with a 2-1 lead. Meanwhile, on the Shoebox scoreboard presented by the Shoebox and Black Earth, largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Well, definitely this was an upset. Marshall wins in straight sets over Mineral Point 25-20, 25-20, 25-13. That was on X1071. Cashton has just won the third set over Fenimore 25-16. Fenimore, however, leads 2-1, and that's on Super Hits 106. And let's see what else we have. Pecatonica up 2-0 over Southwestern. That's on 97.7 Country WGLR. So we go to set number 4. Sides switched again. Highland on the left and DeSoto on the right from the perspective of the Ayers Furniture best seats in the house. And on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Unlike last night, I do not see myself on camera. where we were sitting courtside, we were on TV half the time last night. And immediately, Highland gets off to a good start. They get a point, and it's 1-0. And Samarin Halverson to serve. Brought to you by West End Salvage in Lancaster. See Junkyard Joe Krantz of the West End Salvage team for recycle as well as construction and demolition waste too. West End Salvage in Lancaster. Venner gets the kill, and we're tied at 1. And set number 4, and Cook now will serve. We're also brought to you by Anderson Weber Charity Week, part of our audio stream. Anderson Weber Charity Week, when you are ready. And they were not ready. DeSoto was not ready for that spike by Hoffman. And so it is 2-1 Highland in set number 4. And now Allison Bedward serves. There's a quick set. Spike. That is dug out, but ends up going almost off the wall. And the kill for Sylvia Krieger. And we're tied at 2. Great Regional Health Center's ortho team, Dr. Brad Binsfeld and Nate Stocco, PAC, provide exceptional care for sports-related injuries. Great Regional Health Center, better health starts here. And there's a kill for the Cardinals. And it is 3-2 Highland. And Bullant now will serve. Claire Bank, with their 8 convenient locations in Southwest Wisconsin, proud to support our community events. Claire Bank, where they say we can do that. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender. 2 diving bump attempts, and it ends up going on the Highland side of the floor. Venner gets the kill. We're tied at 3 in set number 4. Hansen now will serve for the Pirates. And the running jump serve bump before it went out of bounds. And then bumped over on the 3rd. Cook the set. Spike. And Venner gets the kill. And DeSoto takes the lead 4-3 in set number 4. Hermson's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington, and Hermson's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Main and Platteville. See Hermson's for the perfect paint for your next project. Hermson's Ace Hardware, Bloomington and Platteville. Hansen serves again, and that's an ace off the back row and down, and it's 5-3. And the running jump serve, that's dug out. Set by Halverson. Spike from the right side, that's dug out. High set, almost hit the ceiling. And now a whistle. Point for Highland on a double hit. And it's 5-4. And Celia Olson now serves for Highland, and this time she sets up right in the middle of the free throw lane and into the back corner, and a big spike by Venner for a kill, and it's 6-4. And Hansen now will serve for the Pirates as they try to keep their season going. They need to win this set or else they're done. The running jump serve is too far. 6-5. Healy Doherty now serves. She sets up even a little farther to the far side when she serves. Here's a right side spike. Blocked to the net, and down it goes. And Terrell gets the block kill. We're tied at 6. Healy Doherty serves again into the bump, and it's caught by the tower referee, and he's not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to hit it over to him. 7-6 Highland in set number 4. Healy Doherty serves again. Dug out, and again it goes over, and it's spiked down for a kill by Esser, and it's 8-6. Another serve by Healy Doherty. Dug out. Set. Spike from the right side. High bump. Bump set in the back row. And then bumped over. DeSoto down with it. Cook the set. Left side spike by Venner, and down that goes. And it's 8-7. Well, the MVP at this point for DeSoto is clearly Venner. She is a big hitter, as was advertised. Her running jump serve dug out. Set spike, but on the other hand, so is Terrell for Highland. She gets the kill, and it's 9-7. Shoebox scoreboard update. Southwestern wins set number 3, 25-21. Pecatonic is still leading 2-1. And that's on 97.7 Country WGLR. And meanwhile, the kill for Esser makes it 10-7. Also, Barneveld is down 2-1 to Madison St. Ambrose, and then 2 bad hits and back. And it's 11-7 Highland. And suddenly, Highland able to put some runs together, which they had not done before that. Before this set, actually, or before set 3 anyway. There's a bump and a spike from the right side, and too soft for DeSoto to handle, and it's 12-7. Wasn't hit hard at all, but a lot of times it's where you put it, not necessarily how hard you hit it. Hoffman gets the kill. And there's the set, left side spike, high bump, diving bump set, and then sent over on a bump. DeSoto tries again here, Cook the set, spike down the middle, that's dug out. Bump set by Hilly Doherty, set over by Esser, that's dug out. Spike by Venner, and she finds the back row. And it's 12-8. Serving now is Gilman. That's a high bump set. Into the back row, dug out, bump set, and then spiked by Venner from the back row, wherever she is. Apparently she's fine with spiking it, and for good reason. Meanwhile, however, Terrell gets the kill, and it's 13-8. And Samarin Halverson will serve. Line drive serve, bad bump, and it's an ace, and it's 14-8. And we are brought to you by TriStar Pallets of Highland and TriStar Mulch, Cobb and Platteville. Beautify your home with decorative colored mulch. Give Jim Drury the game a call at TriStar Pallets of Highland, TriStar Mulch, Cobb and Platteville. Spike goes into the net, and so it's 14-9. Community First Bank, for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC. Spike in the back, quick set, spike, dug out and back. The libero is back in, by the way. Bryn Venner for the Pirates. There's the set by Halverson. Left side send over into the back row, bump set. And then a spike blocked at the net. And then sent over by Venner. They'll set it up again, reach over, and down it goes. Faith Hoffman, 15-9. And Bedward will serve. Southwest Health has over 24 specialty services and more than 50 specialists, so you can have specialized care without traveling far from home. Learn more about their specialty services at southwesthealth.org. Point for DeSoto to make it 15-10. We're also brought to you by Lely Center Monroe. Call your local dairy automation specialist, Jordan Wilson, at Lely Center Monroe. Line drive serve. Quick set, spike, and down that goes. Olsen gets the kill. 16-10. Who else were brought to you by? Hying Hardware in Highland. Always backing the Cardinals. Trust Cindy, Pat, and the crew to do what's best for you at Hying Hardware in Highland. And that is a hit that goes out. It's a point for Highland, 17-10. Highland's starting to run away with this. Community First Bank for you in the communities where you live, work, and play. Experience for yourself the difference at Community First Bank, cfbank.com, member FDIC. Bullet with a serve. Left side spike by Venner, and Venner is the person to bring it, obviously, to stop run, 17-11. We're also brought to you by Highland State Bank of Highland and HighlandStateBank.com. Thing is, however, that DeSoto's going to need a few points in a row here. Starting to get a little late. Spike into the corner. One-hand bump. Bump set, and then spiked over by Venner. That's dug out. Right back. She hits it again, and the second time is the charm. 17-11. Mount City Bank's total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop at a Mount City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. The set, tip over, and missed by one of the front row players, and it's 17-13. And it will be Sylvia Krieger to serve. Bump by Boland. Set by Halverson. Spike by Healy Doherty. And it goes down. 18-13. Highland in front. They lead 2-1. And Celia Olson to serve. Into the back middle with a bump. The set. Venner spikes. Dug out. The set. And then sent over on the bump. Bump. The set. Venner again. Spikes and gets the kill. 18-14. I'm not keeping score here, but Venner's getting all the points, it seems, for DeSoto, and she's kind of keeping them in the match at this point. Running jump serve for DeSoto. Dug out. High bump. The set. Reach over into the back. Bump set. And a spike, but way out of bounds. And it's 19-14. And Highland 6 points away from going to the sectional final. Healy Doherty to serve. Into the back row. Bump set. Spike by Venner. Dug out. Hits the ceiling. Bounces around. They're able to get it back over. Now the set. Oh, go. Oh, what a surprise. Venner hits it again. She gets another kill to make it 19-15. At this point, DeSoto might as well just be setting up Venner. She is now serving. And the running jump serve into the back. Bump set. And then bumped over. Now the set, bad set. They're able to get it over. And Venner spikes it, but out. And it's 20-15. And Terrell now to serve. Mount City Bank's total line of credit allows you to use the equity in your home to do the things you want. Stop at a Mount City Bank to apply. Offer subject to approval. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Learn more at mountcitybank.com. A reach over by the Cardinals. That's dug out. Now a spike by Venner from the back, but that's out. 21-15. Olsen again to serve. Sends it into the back middle. High bump. Here's Venner. Actually, that's not Venner. Here's the spike. That's dug out. And then sent over the other direction. Venner with a diving bump. And then a set. And they have to send it over on a bump. Highland should be able to set this up. Although it's set over by Terrell. Now the set. And a reach over at the net. And did it go in or out? In or out? And it went out. Or they can't decide. Now the floor referee is going to talk to the tower referee to attempt to determine this. Wausau Newman, we are told, by the way, is winning 2-1. And again, that is who the winner faces. And finally, the decider goes to Highland. Wausau Newman playing Eau Claire Emmanuel Lutheran. So that is who the winner will face, and they finally gave the point to Highland, and it's 22-15. And a bad bump, and a bump set and sent over. Now the bump set by Olsen and then set over, and a bad bump that goes off the net and out. It is 23-15. And here's Terrell's serve. And a bump set, spiked over, that gets dug out. Off the, sent over on the second hit. And now Venner with a spike, that gets dug out. The set, spike, that is down! And it is match point. 24-15, Highland leading 2-1. Terrell again to serve into the back, high bump. The set, the spike from the left side, and down it goes. And getting the kill is Gilman, who they have now been setting up on the left side. It is still set point, or still match point, 24-16. Line drive serve, bump set, and a set over by the Cardinals. Diving bump, set, spike, and down that goes. And that's Krieger getting the kill. 24-17. Still match point. And it goes, it's an ace. And it's 24-18. And now Highland is going to call a timeout. 24-18 Highland. They lead in set 4. They lead 2-1. And so the Cardinals trying to get just that 1 point. As the timeout is over, we're brought to you by Highland State Bank in Highland and HighlandStateBank.com. 24-18 in set number 4. And the serve, dug out, bump set, and then sent over by the Cardinals into the opposite corner. Whistle and a point on a double hit, and it's 24-19. DeSoto not going away here. Here's Gilman again to serve. Dug out, the set, and just sent over by Olsen. Now spike from the left side by Venner. That's dug out. The set, and then sent over by the Cardinals. 2 one-hand hits, and then bumped over and hits the ceiling, and that's it. And the Highland Cardinals will head to Riverdale Saturday night for the sectional final. It wasn't easy, but the Cardinals win 24-26, 25-20, 25-11, 25-19. DeSoto, despite playing a great first set, or at least first half of the first set, ends their season at 19-14, and Highland at 23-4. And they will play either Wausau Newman or Eau Claire Emmanuel Lutheran. And again, Newman leading Emmanuel Lutheran 2-1. So again, we head to
at 7 p.m. We'll see you there, Cardinals.
Head to Riverdale and Muscadet for the sectional final against either Wausau Newman or Eau Claire Emmanuel Lutheran. And that'll be Saturday at 7. We'll have that for you at 6:30, station to be determined on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube, on the Queen Bee Radio family of stations, and certainly we hope, if the tech is cooperative, on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Highland wins 3-1. More after this on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of WIAA Playoff Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, Darlington Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on ESPN Radio and 1590 WPVL and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, powered by H&M Plumbing, Heating, Electrical, and Lely Center Monroe. Highland beats DeSoto, the number 4 seed, 24-26, 25-20, 25-11, 25-19. Cardinals will play either Wausau Newman or Eau Claire Emmanuel Lutheran, and it's 2-1 Newman, and they are playing set 4. We are told, thanks to Dan Sedgwick for the update, and we'll be back with more after this on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. Highland wins the number 2 seed, a winner over DeSoto, 24-26, 25-20, 25-11, 25-19. Cardinals will face either Wausau Newman or Eau Claire Emmanuel Lutheran in the sectional final at Riverdale Saturday at 7. We'll have it for you at 6:30 somewhere on the Queen Bee family of radio stations, and we hope on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And now we are joined by Maria Wineski, the Highland coach. Thanks for coming over and joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Let's talk about set number 1. That was a not great start by you. You were able to get it down to, you had it tied late, but
yeah.
Slow start for what reason?
I don't really know. We've never played them before. Granted, they've never played us either. But 7 and 27 are powerful players, and we just needed a chance to settle in and figure out how we were going to play good defense against them so we could run our offense. And our serve receive was pretty shaky in that first set, so we settled in passing.
Okay, and in set number 2, it kind of started like set number 1, but at least in that case, you guys were able to come back, and you end up getting the, yes, you should have a chair. And so at least you were able to get the win in set number 2 then.
Yeah.
So did something like turn around during set number 2?
In set number 2, I don't know if it's a game changer. Then we played Ava Mitchell went in instead of Hillary, and that Ava just offers like a different set, another set of hands in the front row, and then our libero started playing for both of our middles, which gave them a chance to rest and only focus on playing in the front row. And Bryn just did a great job passing. Our libero did a great job passing tonight, which she always does, but just that consistency, I think, really help things out.
Okay, and then in sets, well, you just wiped them out in set 3.
Yeah.
And pretty much the case in set 4. It got a little close at the
end.
sort of close at the end
Yeah.
there, but was it just a case that you finally got things going the way you wanted them to in the 3rd and 4th sets?
Yeah, we were wearing them down on defense. I think we flustered their hitters a little bit, and so we were able to kind of do what we wanted. We were running our own offense, and we weren't always just worried about what DeSoto was going to do to us. We were able to control what we were going to do to DeSoto.
Okay, so now actually we don't know who you're going to play. Newman's up 2-1 on Emmanuel Lutheran. They're now playing set number 4. Although at this point in the year, are you just trying to play the game in the sense of trying to be the best you, basically?
Yeah, we're just looking to hopefully play one more game at a time. And we have the tools to compete with anybody, and these girls play for each other. And it's awesome coaching these girls. And so they are a true essence of team.
And you are one step away from going to state. How is that? What's the next day or so going to be like?
We're going to soak it all in tomorrow. The kids don't have school, but we're going to have practice at normal time. And
that's kind of the tough thing. I've heard so many coaches say that they hate school days off on game nights because everybody gets out of their...
I'm really glad we don't play tomorrow night. It's normal for us to play on a Saturday. I'm just glad we don't play tomorrow night. So I am excited that we have another shot to make it back to Green Bay.
Okay, and we'll see you in Riverdale.
Awesome, thank you.
On Saturday. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you Saturday.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you. Maria Wineski, by the way, you can send some of your players over if you like. Maria Wineski, the Highland coach. Highland with a 3-1 lead. They dropped set number 1 and then won the other 3. And so it will be Highland going to the sectional final against either Wausau Newman or Eau Claire Emmanuel Lutheran. And we're getting ready for, well, we have to talk to players, obviously. And so as I turn the microphone back up, why don't you introduce yourself to the world?
Hi, I'm Sophie Terrell. I'm Brindley Beaumont. I'm Celia Olson.
And the 3 of you are going to the sectional final after your win tonight. Talk about how did that first set go like that? Because DeSoto looked like they were trying to blow you out of your own gym, basically. It got close at the end, but you guys just didn't seem very anything in that first set.
I think it just takes us a little while to get started up, but we always look for each other and we pick ourselves up and then we get going.
Well, then go ahead.
I would say the same thing. Like coming out on this court, it's very exciting but nerve-wracking at the same time, but we always pull it through after we get it figured out.
I think we just try looking for each other so we can get right back on track.
And the good thing in your particular case is you avoided the upset bug because particularly Division 5, there's been a lot of high-seeded teams that are not playing, but you guys are. So, were you particularly upset about losing set number 1? Or were you just like, all right, lost set number 1. We've done that before. Let's get it done.
We just knew that we could come through, and I don't think the set ever mattered to us.
I would say it doesn't matter what set we lose. We're going to play our hardest and come out and play for our teammates.
We knew right after that set that we had to come back, so we came back.
Okay, so now tomorrow you don't have school, your coach just said. So you're going to have a whole day to think about what you're playing for on Saturday. And, it's always been the case that the game that's the most stressful is the game before state, not up at state. So what's it going to be like the next couple of days?
I think we'll just stick together as a team, get through the days, and do what we do.
Yeah, we do a lot as a team, so we'll just do a lot team stuff, and we'll have team breakfasts, team suppers, just so we can stick together and show our team work and stuff.
We're very close as a team, and I think that's what gets us to this point.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Congratulations on the win, and say your names one more time for the world.
Sophia Terrell.
Brindley Beaumont.
Celia Olson.
I have to ask, how many more Terrells are there? Because it seems like I call, Olson's too, because there's 10 tons of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, congratulations on the win, and we'll see you Saturday at Riverdale.
Thank you so much.
See you there.
Okay. We have kind of a quirky little microphone there, but we will press on regardless. Highland wins 3-1 over DeSoto. And so the Cardinals head to Riverdale Saturday night, and we will certainly be there for that. And we'll be back with the Reeves Wealth Management and Edward Jones post-match show after these messages on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of WIAA Playoff Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, powered by H&M Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical, and Lely Center Monroe. Highland drops set number one, 26-24, but wins the other three, 25-20, 25-11, and 25-19. And so it will be Highland against either Eau Claire Emmanuel Lutheran or Wausau Newman Saturday at Riverdale. And that'll be a 6:30 broadcast start. Station to be determined on the Queen Bee Radio Sports family of stations. And we will certainly endeavor mightily to get it on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel as well. DeSoto got a big early lead in the first set. Highland fought back, but it was still a win for DeSoto 26-24. And then the second set started. Hang on one second. Newman won 3-1. Really? Yep.
Thank you.
But Highland fought back and ended up winning set number 2, 25-20, and just went to town in set number 3 and won 25-21. Set number 4 was basically like set number 3, even though the Pirates kind of made it close at the end. They had a few straight points, but that just kind of delayed the inevitable with Highland winning 25-19. We now know, by the way, that Wausau Newman has defeated Eau Claire Emmanuel Lutheran 3-1, and so it will be Wausau Newman and Highland for a trip to state, and that is, according to Max Preps, that is the 3rd and 4th ranked teams. Newman is 3rd, Highland 4th. In Division 5. So that's the kind of sectional final matchup you want, although you take that as a state matchup also. But in this particular case, it will be for the sectional championship and a trip to state up at the Resch Center in Green Bay. We should also update, because there is a match still going on. Pecatonica and Southwestern have now gone to the 5th set. And that is on 97.7 Country WGLR. We'll get you the other scores in a moment, and we'll be back after these messages. Highland wins 3-1 over DeSoto on AM 1590 WPVL. Grand Regional Hall Center and People's State Bay coverage of WIAA Playoff Volleyball. Presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental. And Carey Seamless Gutters and over at Doors on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL. And on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, powered by H&N Plumbing, Heating, Electrical, and Laley Center Monroe. And Highland the winner tonight in 4 sets, 24-26, 25-20, 25-11, 25-19. And so the Cardinals will face, I believe, the Cardinals of Wausau Newman, because Newman beat Eau Claire Emmanuel Lutheran 3 sets to 1. I think they are the Cardinals. So Cardinals versus Cardinals Saturday night. That is amusing. Our most valuable player presented by Herms's Ace Hardware and Home Center in Bloomington and Herms's Ace Hardware at the bottom of Maine in Platteville. Herms's will be the MVP for your next project in your home. Herms's Ace Hardware in Bloomington and in Platteville. I'm just writing down something here. And the MVP, and you heard Maria Wadesky mention her specifically, Brinley Bullant, the libero, really did a good job tonight with, and especially when you're trying to hit, return some pretty nasty spikes on the part of Kylie Venner and occasionally some others for DeSoto. So we're going to name Brinley Bullant the Herms's Ace Hardware MVP of the game. Scrapper of the game, the West End Salvage Scrapper of the game, the player whose hustle and scrappiness stood out in trying to lay the opponent to waste, presented by West End Salvage in Lancaster. And, well, that's got to be Kylie Venner from DeSoto because, and I don't know what her stats are, but it seemed like she had about 3/4 of the kills for DeSoto in this match and kind of at some point single-handedly kept them from getting blown out in the 3rd and 4th sets, or part of the 4th sets, and was a huge hitter. So we're going to name Kylie Venner of DeSoto as our scrapper of the game, presented by Weston Salvage of Lancaster. Tricor Turning Point, brought to you by Tricor Insurance. Insurance plans built for you, your family, and your business. Contact Tricor Insurance today. And I think it was probably Highland's comeback in the 2nd set, because even though we have, just in the last week, seen a team drop 2 sets and come back to win, but that's not the sort of thing you want to count on happening. So the fact that Highland was able to, and I think they kind of started finally getting things going the direction they wanted them to go in the second half of the 2nd set, and then obviously pretty much cruised from there. So that the comeback in the 2nd set is our Tricor Turning Point, brought to you by Tricor Insurance. Insurance plans built for you, your family, and your business. Contact Tricor Insurance today. We will be back with updates from the Shoebox Scoreboard. We'll tell you what's going on Friday and what we know is going on Saturday. Highland wins 3 sets to 1 over DeSoto to go to the sectional final Saturday night, which will be at whatever station we'll be on. And we'll wrap up the Reeves Wolf Management and Edward Jones post-match show after these messages on 97.7 Country on ESPN Radio and 1590 WPVL and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Grant Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of WIAA Playoff Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, Darlington Family Dental, and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL and on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel, powered by H&N Plumbing, Heating, Electrical, and Laley Center Monroe. Highland dropped set number 1, but came back to win 3 sets to 1, 24-26, 25-20, 25-11, 25-19. Cardinals will face Wausau Newman, And again, I believe they are also the Cardinals. And that will be at Riverdale High School Saturday night. And we'll have that for you at 6:30. Station to be determined on the Queen Bee Radio Sports family of stations, the Queen Bee Radio family of stations, and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Again, on the Shoebox Scoreboard, presented by the Shoebox and Black Earth, largest independent shoe store in the Midwest. Southwestern and Pecatonica are going to at 5 sets. That's on 97.7 Country WGLR. There are still upsets going on tonight, folks. Madison St. Ambrose defeated Barneveld 3-1. And so it will be St. Ambrose against either Southwestern or Pecatonica Saturday night. I would think we will have that one also someplace. Meanwhile, Fenimore a winner 3-1 over Cashton, and that was on Super Hits 106. So it'll be Fenimore against either Blair Taylor or Cochrane Fountain City from Arcadia. We'll have that for you someplace on the Queen Bee family of stations. The upset of the night, Marshall beats Mineral Point 3-0, and that was on X1071. Marshall with the win will face either Onalaska Luther or La Crosse Aquinas in Richland Center coming up on Saturday. And also in IHSA volleyball, south of the state line, Galena a winner over Eastland 2-0. So Galena heads to well, it turns out Eastland, but Eastland won't be playing there for the sectional on Tuesday. We'll have that for you. Station to be determined on the Queen Bee Radio family of stations, and I am not sure who their opponent will be. Didn't get a score from that, but I'm sure we'll find out maybe as soon as the sports tomorrow on the Queen Bee Radio family of FM stations. All right. And I believe that's all we have for tonight. It is certainly not all that we have for this weekend, because tomorrow, football level 2 starting at 6:30, Platteville at Baldwin Woodville on ESPN Radio and 1590 WPVL. Fenimore at Darlington on X1071. By the way, Platteville and Baldwin Woodville will be on the Queen Bee family or Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. DeSoto at Highland on AM 1590 WPVL. One more time. Look at the right one, Steve. Potosi Cassville at Johnson Creek on Super Hits 106 and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. Cashton and Blackhawk Warren on the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And Seneca Wazeeka Steuben at Hilbert on 97.7 Country WGLR and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel. And then Saturday night, sectional finals for a trip to state, and we assume that the schedules aren't going to change, but again, check that out on the WIA's webpage. We will have Highland against Wausau Newman at Riverdale. We will have either Southwestern or Pecatonica against Madison St. Ambrose. We will have Fenimore against Cochrane Fountain City or Blair Taylor. All of those three on the Queen Bee family of radio stations, and we hope the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel coming up. Meanwhile, Sunday, Carolina and the Packers, 9 o'clock on 97.7 Country WGLR. Now I have it. The IHSA Class 1A Eastland Sectional Semifinal, Galena against either Earlville or Aurora Christian, and that's a 6:40 start. Station to be determined. RJ Osterhaus is our sports director. Johnny Page is our chief engineer. Rob Spangler is our technical director. Thanks to Lynn Mishik and the staff at Highland High School. Thanks to our sponsors who help us bring this game to you, and thank you for joining us. Great Regional Health Center and People's State Bank coverage of WIA Playoff Volleyball presented by Cuba City, Kieler, and Darlington Family Dental and Carey Seamless Gutters and Overhead Doors is a Queen Bee Radio Sports presentation on ESPN Radio AM 1590 WPVL Platteville and the Queen Bee Radio Sports YouTube channel presented by H&N Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical at Lely Center, Monroe. Highland wins 3-1, 24-26. 25-20, 25-11, 25-19 over DeSoto. Highland and Wausau Newman for a trip to state Saturday night. From the Ayers Furniture Bestie in the house, I'm Steve Prestegard. ESPN Radio is next. We'll be back for playoff football tomorrow and sectional final volleyball Saturday.